Chances are you've seen this flower in a garden before. It's the Columbine. But today, we're going to look at it a little differently. Not just as a plant, but as this masterpiece of intricate, purposeful design, one that's really inviting us to look much, much closer. Right off the bat, you see this beautiful contrast. It looks so delicate, right? But then you notice this real complexity to its structure. It's gentle, but as we're about to find out, every single part of it has a very specific purpose. So how can something be both simple and so complex at the same time? Well, let's dive in. So let's start with the most obvious thing. It's beauty. I mean, it's impossible to ignore. But the really important thing here is that this isn't just beauty for beauty's sake. No, this is beauty with a clear and powerful intention, a design that serves a very specific purpose. Just look at its unique structure. It kind of seems to reach up, and it draws your eye with it. But at the exact same time, all that complexity in the center pulls your focus inward. It's this brilliant piece of natural design that doesn't just sit there, it actually engages anyone who stops to take a look. And at the very heart of that design is this one key feature. Its distinctive spurred petals. These elegant, almost horn-like shapes are what make a Columbine a Columbine. And believe me, they're not just for show. They are the solution to a really important puzzle. And that brings us to what it does. The flower's entire form is this carefully crafted solution designed to attract very specific visitors. You could almost think of it as a beautifully designed puzzle just for pollinators. Which, of course, leads to the obvious question, why? Why these strange, beautiful spurs? I mean, what possible function could they serve? It seems almost overly complicated, but trust me, there's a perfect reason for it. And here's the answer. Those spurs are actually nectar reservoirs. They are perfectly shaped little vessels, holding the flower's sweet reward deep down inside. But what's really cool is who they're designed for. Very specific visitors. So, for example, a hummingbird with its long, slender beak, well, it finds this design to be a perfect fit. It can hover and reach that nectar that other creatures just can't get to. And this isn't an accident. It's a perfect example of what our source material calls an intentional diversity in invitation. But the table is open to others, as long as they know how to approach. So hummingbirds get that deep nectar. Bees have to be a little more clever. They have to navigate the whole structure from below. And butterflies, well, they can just hover and sip delicately from a distance. It's the same flower, but it offers its gifts in different ways to its different guests. Now, this whole idea of duality, it moves beyond biology and right into the realm of symbolism. It turns out the flower's two-sided nature is embedded right there in its names, which tell a story of two very different, but totally connected ideas. Okay, this is absolutely fascinating. Its botanical name, Aquilegia, comes from aquila, which is the Latin word for eagle, because those spurs look like an eagle's talons, a symbol of strength and power. But its common name, Columbine, comes from columba, the Latin word for dove, because if you flip the flower over, it actually looks like a little cluster of doves, a symbol of peace and gentleness. So, the really crucial point is this. Strength and gentleness aren't presented as opposites here. They're held together in one single elegant design. This one flower embodies both the eagle's power and the dove's peace. How cool is that? And this idea of balance, it goes even further, right into how the Columbine lives. By just looking at its growth patterns, we can uncover some pretty powerful lessons that apply far, far beyond the garden. It has this beautiful, almost humble rhythm to it. It just shows up, often reseeding itself wherever it wants. It fulfills its purpose. It has a pretty short bloom period, making a lasting impression without trying to dominate everything. And then it releases its seed, and it just trusts the process. There's no striving for control, just this quiet participation in what's next. And think about where it grows. Not in the harsh, full sun, but in those in-between places. Woodland edges, partial shade. It thrives where there's a mix of illumination and shelter, a balance of revelation and rest. It's such a powerful metaphor for a life that doesn't always have to be in the spotlight to really flourish. So when we bring all of this together, the design, the symbolism, the life cycle, it all points to one central invitation, a personal takeaway for all of us, really. This is the core message the flower just seems to scream. The nectar, its most valuable gift, isn't just sitting out on the surface. Nope, it's held deep inside. And that single idea says so much. Not everything valuable is obtained casually. to get that nectar, you need the right approach. Just like the hummingbird is uniquely equipped for it, some of the most valuable things in life require a specific posture from us. They're accessed not by force, but by alignment. It's really an invitation to go deeper, to become the kind of person who can receive what's already there waiting. And this is such a hopeful thought. The nectar isn't being withheld to make things difficult. It's just protected. It's waiting. It's an invitation, not a test. It's simply waiting to be received by those who are willing to approach with patience, with humility, and with the right alignment. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When you look at your own life, your work, your relationships, maybe your spiritual journey, what hidden nectar is just waiting there for you, if only you can find the right way to approach it?